Well, hello and welcome to Finland, or as they say around here, Tervetuloa Suomen. You can see that's the old control tower. This is such a great circuit. It's great to be in Finland. I'm Neil. Welcome to the live stream. Q2 is coming up very shortly. If you missed Q1, we'll get you up to speed. And look, here we go. There's the man of the moment. He's not driven here before, neither is him. 3 World Rallycross Championships between them, and very quickly on the pace. In fact, I might just grab a quick word if I can, Matthias. This is a very dramatic circuit. First time here. How have you found it in Q1?
Yeah, I mean, straight out it was pure enjoyment, but again, we're still learning it. I said earlier to Andrew when he was asking, how are you doing? I said, we have 1/10 in the car probably and half a second in the driver. So no, I'm learning every lap, and it's a lot of fun. So now we're out with Johan and Timmy and the local stars, so now we have to be up on the wheel to be good.
Okay, and of course it's fastest first. Does that affect things? Do you think the track will evolve?
It depends. You can't really see how much they have been sweeping the tarmac, so the dust they normally put out in the tarmac. Gravel, I think it's quite fair, so I expect to be very even to the first session.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
So that's the interesting thing. So if you weren't watching our live stream before, there's the tombola of trepidation, because you can either go fastest first or slowest first in Q2. So it should be very interesting to see, because this race, there's Timmy Hansen. So the first race of Q2 has all of these fast guys, including some flying Finns, as Juha Rutkinen, and Niklas Gronholm is trying to hide, or is he trying to hide? Just quickly have a word with you, Niklas. Must be great to be racing at home, and what can you do to sort of move up the ranks in Q2?
Drive a bit better. No, I think it's just some fine-tuning on the driving and good launch.
And a quick word in Finnish to everyone watching who's suddenly proud to have a Finnish round of the World Rallycross Championship.
Toivottavasti siellä on kisakatsomot laitettu pystyyn ja kello 15 alkaen näkyy sitten kisat Ylellä ja virittäytykää TV:n ääreen ja nauttikaa rallycrossista.
I have no idea what he said, but kiitos, demonstrating pure sisu, which is a very Finnish thing. It means kind of spirit or cojones. Anyway, up there in the commentary booth should be Andrew Coley and Dan Rook to talk us through what happened in qualifying 1.
First race of Q1 saw 3 drivers who were desperate to recover from a bad weekend last week in Sweden. Niklas Gronholm, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen. Gronholm got the best start. The Peugeots and the Hyundai have both been fettled this week in just 5 days between the 2 events. Niklas Gronholm later in the race ran wide, and that allowed Timmy Hansen just to shoot up the inside. Joe Clapp's strategy was split, but as you can see, Timmy holding on to the win when he got to the checker flag. Niklas fairly close behind, and Kevin Hansen in 3rd. On to race 2, Timo Zjanov with a brilliant start from the outside of the grid, cutting across but unable to get through past Matthias Ekström. Liam Doran, the British bomb, was having a much better run in the McGann and was hustling Ekström. He jokered early, backward, and Ekström then responded. Ekström came through to take the win, 1/10 of a second faster than Timmy, but look how close it was between Liam and Andreas. A little bit of damage on Andreas' car from that contact. Race 3, Timo Scheider, Kristoffersen, Larsen on the inside, super close between them. Somehow the Polo gets fired out like from a cannon into the lead. A little bit of contact between Scheider and Larsen in the background, but it was Scheider who held on to P2, and that made things a bit difficult for Larsen, who won here last year in the Nordic Series. Problems also for Athro Mata, damage to his car. Out front, Kristoffersen was smashing the lap times. Quickest so far by quite some margin. On to the final race of the session. Niklas Gronholm from the outside with a brilliant start, cutting all the way across the grid. A little bit of contact from Abbring into the first corner, but he held on. Markland in 3rd place. Couldn't find a way past Abbring. Looked quicker in the McGann. He was so fast, of course, last weekend. Sorry, Richtinen on the outside, not Gronholm. So it was Juha Richtinen with the whole shot in the last race. My bad, same looking car. Good drive by him, and he went P4. Well, you can see Markland ran off the side of the track at the end of that session. Let's take a look at the standings after Q1. It was Kristoffersen, Ekström, Hansen at the top of the table, so 4 world titles between them. Timmy, of course, the current champion. Ekström 16, Kristoffersen 17, 18. Ruktanen right up there. Then Niklas Gronholm, Bakkerud, Scheider, Doran, the top 8. Larsen, Hansen, Markland and Timmers Yarnov, your top 12. Bit of work to do, I think, for anybody behind to make it into the semis. Ekström bringing the noise underneath the commentary position. You can see there the Audi moving forward to take up his place on the grid. It's fastest first, remember. They've been out and watered the track, Dan. We also think that it's still going to develop, don't we? Because it was still developing in Q1, and without any support categories here, normally by now we'd have had 5 Euro races out there and the track might be clean, but maybe not.
Yeah, not so much. Obviously, less cars running over all the gravel isn't sweeping it quite as much. And yeah, I saw some tractors out there with the water tankers on the back as well. So haven't actually seen any track shots, and it's hard to see from here how much they've watered it. But that could really play into the hands of people in the later races. We got Anton Markland with the grids flipped. He's in
the
race,
third one, yeah.
race 3. So he set the second fastest lap time.
Yeah. Him and Timmer for me are the threat in that race, the third race of the session, fastest first. And the last race probably not going to trouble these guys, but we'll see. If it's really been wetted out the back, we're not quite sure. So we haven't seen a shot of the back of the track. So we shall see. Time to get Q2 underway. Let's have a look at the grid for race 1. Now it's fastest first for this session. That's the way that the tombola of trepidation went prior to getting these guys on the line. So they are in for the early track conditions. Kristoffersen, Ekström, Hansen, Ruktanen and Gronholm. What a lineup. New tyres for Timmy Hansen in the centre of the grid. We know that Ekström was saving tyres by running a pair of wets in the first practice session. Same with Larsen. Really even start across the grid. Kristoffersen maybe going to get down to turn 1 first. Ekström right on his rear corner, gives him a little nudge. Ruktanen tries to go through, ends up in the gravel trap. Ruktanen super wide, drops to P5. Gronholm going to have to slot in behind Timmy Hansen, so the two Hyundais have lost out at the start there. It's whole shot. Kristoffersen. Ekström has got to go with him, Dan. Yeah,
100%. Ekström really going to be learning off Kristoffersen, I think, in these early stages. He said himself he's got a little bit of pace to find. So if he's following Kristoffersen, at least maybe he can pick up some tips.
Yeah, and it's not as if he needs tips, is it? But it's that straight to the joker goes Timmy Hansen. So Timmy fancies his chances in terms of pace against the rest. Ruktanen's gone in with him, so that puts Gronholm up to P3 for now. Different lines there between Kristoffersen and Ekström. But you're right, when someone's gone that much quicker than you in a session, there is something, isn't there? He might be able to look at it and go, look, I can't match the lap times. That might be what comes from this, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, that could well be the case. But you see, you'll be able to see all of the braking points and everything. You concertina up as you come in through. Watch every single line, every tiny little movement they do with the car. You see where they rotate it, weight distribution, all of it. You can learn from it, and you know exactly that's going to be what Matthias is doing. He's gone joker lap.
So Matthias Ekström's gone joker now. He's had to try and cover off Timmy behind. Timmy Hansen on the outside line. Matthias Ekström going to shut the door. He'll have to hold it tight. Hansen's going to have more speed onto that straight. Hansen right up behind Ekström, but not close enough. Good move by the Hansen spotters there to get Timmy back out in front of Matthias.
Yeah, they really had to get him in there because Timmy was catching right up.
Sorry, Ekström in front. Yeah, my bad. Good move by Ekström spotters to get him out in front.
But now they got the problem with Gronholm. Gronholm has yet to joker.
So Ekström in behind Gronholm already. Is that going to cost them too much time? Yeah, he doesn't go. So is that a disaster for them?
Yeah, they're going to be losing a little bit of time. It's not going to be a lot. They're not all over his bumper as he runs wide.
So close to the tyre wall. Niklas Gronholm pushing really hard. Ekström, to me, kind of had the similar pace to Kristoffersen. Got a problem with our timing screen. Apologies up in commentary. But having dropped back behind Gronholm now, maybe not going to be able to match the times in quite the same way.
It almost would have been worth him hanging on to the back of Kristoffersen because, his team wouldn't know what Gronholm was going to do, and then then Timmy would have eventually caught up to him. So final lap now, both of them have to joker.
Kristoffersson into the joker lap, going to come out in front. Surely Ekstrom is fairly close, look. Did he lose any time? Kristoffersson crossing the line. Don't have a time up here, we don't have a timing screen. So apologies, our timing screen not working up in commentary. So I don't have the time for you. We'll have it in a moment on the graphics. Kristoffersson takes it. Ekstrom, though, looking a bit closer to me. 2:47.1. So Johan Kristoffersson just 0.8 of a second faster than Matthias Ekstrom. But they are some 3 seconds slower than they were in Q1, so track conditions have changed.
Yeah, you can see that where they've watered it a little bit.
Another look at the start. So outside, almost looks like he's going to get there. Does he get a little nudge on the inside down? He just sends up across the gravel trap and goes from P3 straight to P5. Okay. Timmy holding on in third, and then Matthias went with Johan. So I think that's promising. It's promising in terms of a decent fight.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, you don't know if he was held up behind Gronholm at all. I mean, you can see there the gap was a little bit, so not too bad. And obviously the evidence when they came out of the joker, he wasn't too far behind.
Kristoffersson looking tidy again, not quite as fast as last time. So is the track going to get quicker as the session goes on? We might see some of the guys who are a bit slower taking the top time.
Another race win, Johan, but a little bit slower than Q1. Is that track conditions?
Yeah, they watered the track in between the sessions, and it makes life a little bit more difficult. But yeah, let's see if we can get a pole, maybe P6. I'm happy with that. So let's see. But at least I beat the crucial guys in this heat. So if anyone goes faster now afterwards, it's okay because I still have the points advantage on the guys in my heat. So. But let's see how it goes. Car feels good, so definitely made some improvements from Höljes. And yeah, I start to get back into rhythm and feel confident again.
Thank you.
Kristoffersson with a good assessment of the situation there, Dan. You know, he knows it doesn't, you know, while basically he doesn't care if he gets beaten by somebody in race 3. Obviously, someone like Anton Markland, potentially, who had the pace in Sweden, maybe a little bit more of a threat. But with Kristoffersson being in with the quick guys, he's beaten them here, he beat them in Q1. It's all good in terms of qualifying positions. Race 2, Q2. Andreas Backerud, Timo Scheider, Liam Doran, Robin Larsson and Kevin Hansen. Any of these guys could set the fastest time of the session if the track has improved. Kevin Hansen with new tyres on the front of the Peugeot. Light comes on. Great reaction time from Larsson towards the outside of the grid, but he can't get past Doran. 3 cars wide contact all the way. Oh, locked wheels on the outside. Larson's on the lock stops in the gravel. So is Doran. Backerud, who completely backed out at the start, has absolutely nailed that. Straight to the front. P2 is Scheider, Kevin Hansen in third.
Yeah, I mean, Andreas had already lost the start effectively off the line, but really in the box position because all 3 of those guys in P2, 3 and 4 locked together, couldn't get the turn in, and Andreas could just say thank you very much.
If I was Kevin, I'd joker now if Scheider doesn't. The guy's behind are quick, but he goes standard lap. Who's going to go into the joker? Doran. Liam Doran goes joker in the background. I think that's a good move by Liam.
Yeah, Liam showed great pace in Q1, so now giving himself a bit of clear air, see what he can do. He's not too far off the back of Larsson anyway.
Scheider last weekend, of course, in Sweden, we saw Gronholm get stuck behind him, didn't win a race. Timo's such a class act that he'll do his best to keep these guys behind him as he runs just a little bit deep in turn 2, because that's to his advantage and he's entitled to do that, Dan. The problem for the others is he's not slow enough. He's not a back marker. Timo's right up there, but just not quite the ultimate pace in the car. so they can't find a way through.
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking tenths of a second here. It's not very much, but it's enough just to keep that door shut. And Kevin Hansen goes Joker.
Kevin into the Joker. Watch for Liam round the outside. So the Hansens respond to Liam Doran this time. Kevin coming through the merge now. Where's Liam? Not quite close enough. Liam may get a better line onto the start finish straight, but Kevin didn't have to defend that too hard, did he?
No, he had enough of a gap, and they would have called that on the radio as well, saying you don't have to defend this too hard. It means then he can run the car a bit wide as Larson with a big mistake.
Larson runs super wide. That's going to cost him because Kevin is now right on the back of him. He was a few tenths back. Larson, of course, hasn't jokered. Oh, Liam's all crossed up with the brakes. Nudges the wall. He's lucky there. Oh, has a half spin. So Doran nudged the barrier on the inside. I thought that was going to get him there. Dan, bit of a mission to get a supercar into reverse.
Yeah, especially with the anti-lag running, because it's effectively like you're running with part throttle, so trying to get it down through the gears and get going again is a nightmare.
Not ideal for Liam Doran, loses some time. Scheider going well again. Backward though, your leader out front, untroubled at the moment. Can he get enough of a gap to hold on to that position? Into the hairpin for them again. Looking better here, isn't it? In Hollius, he looked like he was really struggling with the car. Again, he was up on the lap times this weekend. He was up on the lap times, of course, in pre-practice down in Sweden.
Yeah, he was there or thereabouts with problems with the car, but yeah, he's looking really quick now.
Backward coming through the right-hander, Kevin Hansen round the outside now. Maybe going to get Scheider as well. Scheider going to hold the apex. Kevin going to look up the inside. Can't quite do it. Backward wins from Scheider and Kevin Hansen. Larson with his moment coming in P4. Liam Doran. Is Doran still circulating or has he pulled off?
I can't see him out on the track.
We're looking out the commentary position. We can't see Liam Doran, so has he got a problem in the McGann? There he's Doran. He stopped just before the jump at the back of the circuit. No. After Q1 went so well, I was really hoping that we were going to see a better result for Liam, but Andreas Backer with the 2:47.999 from Scheider, Kevin Hansen, Robin Larson, Doran with a DNF. Backward slots into third place, just behind Ekstrom, look, about 8 tenths off Kristoffersson. Right, watch Backward on the inside here because he has lost the start. You can see away from there, Dan, he's just not there. Backs out of it, thank you very much.
Yeah, all three of those other guys. Battle of the egos there, I think, who's going to break the latest, but it didn't play into their hands at all, and Andreas, the optimist, just went for it.
Yeah, nicely done. We've spoken about this at Hollius before, Loiak as well. Sometimes you can just come out of it and find a way through it. Doesn't work at every track, does it?
No, not every track. It kind of depends, how the flow of the corners are going to run. Like for Latvia, for example, you've got an immediate corner straight afterwards, which is really not going to help.
No, so you got to play your tactics according to the circuit layout. The drivers know that, they have to respond to it. Good drive by Backward, goes P3 in this one. Kevin Hansen almost getting Timo at the line.
Andreas, great to get a race win. Time's not as quick as you might have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled a little bit with the starts this weekend, to be honest. So not 100% confidence, and I felt we went a step back. I'm not very happy with my run this time. Wish I could be a little bit stronger on pace there, but Q1 we had very, very good speed, so we need to look back on the data and try to analyze a bit. Okay, Q3 so far is not a bad result, but for sure I should be a little bit faster when I'm out there alone.
Thank you.
We've got a recovery going on the back of the track. Of course, Liam's car being brought in. Anton Markland waiting right under the commentary position to do his practice launch. Anton, for me, Dan, is the man in this third race who could potentially cause some problems for Kristoffersson.
Just depends on his start, doesn't it? He's starting in pole position, and we've seen previously that it's not necessarily the best way into the first corner.
He's got Timmer's Yarn outside him. We're going to take another look at Liam's moment on the barrier. I don't reckon there's enough contact on the barrier for this to have been the problem. Here he comes, he's completely crossed up. To be fair, that's probably trying to avoid Kevin in front of him. So Kevin as maybe, there's the concertina effect. Liam knows, I don't want to collect him on the brakes, nudges the barrier on the inside, but Dan, that's not enough to damage the car. Banging it into reverse while it's rolling forward, heading backwards, that's quite hard on the transmission, but it's got to be done.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where he hit the car. It looks like he almost caught it on the side of the wheel as he went in.
If he had any knock-on,
a knock-on effect going in through the suspension.
At the end of the day, you're chucking 1,000 kilos of car at an Armco barrier, aren't you? At 40 mile an hour, probably. There's going to be. I mean, if that was a road car, it'd be a write-off, wouldn't it? But race car, not so much. They have a fairly hefty reinforcement behind the bumpers. There are actually rules on the size of the reinforcement you're allowed behind the bumpers. So they don't run. What's behind the skin is not the same as on your road car. And that's because they know they're going to have heavier contact, hopefully, than you have in your road car. And obviously, they're also wearing different safety gear. Your road car is designed to fold up around you and save you from injury. The race car is designed to stay in one piece as long as possible. And obviously, a rallycross car designed very differently than a rally car. We've seen a lot of rally cars come in like an R5 chassis, have to be quite heavily modified to stand the contact which we have. The Polo WRC car, of course, which Christopherson drives, modifications to that for rallycross as well. But the bar behind the bumper is a specified size. And of course, that's what caught Markland out when he got DQ'd for Norway last year, because it had been manufactured incorrectly by 1/10 of a millimetre or something crazy. But there is a maximum size. And the reason for that is you can't build it like a tank, so you can just fire everyone off. So the rules are all very carefully thought out. You say it can't just be a battering ram. Race 3, Q2. Is the track getting faster? And can Anton Markland or Timo Timozianov do anything about the time of Johan Kristoffersson? It's tighter at the top of the table at 2:47.137 is the target time. Ekstrom and Backward are just 8/10 off the back of that. Yannick Parsonen, Jari Kaliakowski and Kevin Abbring are outside to middle of the grid, but it's those inside two that I've got my eye on. Of course, they have got to get the start right, because they get stuck behind anyone who isn't on the pace. They're not going to be able to get the job done. Good start by Timozianov. Markland, though, he's on the inside too. Abbring almost going with them down to the first corner. Round the outside, Parsonen absolutely sends it. That was a mega move.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of really didn't have any choice from the outside, did he? But made it stick and didn't run too wide either, did he?
That was proper big ball stuff around the outside there. Need to take a look and see if he did it on the handbrake or not. But absolutely incredible move around the outside. And hung on to it. I'm sure you can hear the limiter there in turn one. Brilliant move by him. Straight to the Joker lap goes Timozianov. So Timozianov's gone Joker. He wants a little bit of room to try and hammer the lap times in. Markland has gone with Parsonen out front. Kevin Abbring looking to try and pass Timmer on the straight. Runs out wide, smoking up the front right tyre. Tyre smoke as well from Timozianov's car. Oh, contact there between Markland. Gets a bit too hot into that first corner and runs deep with Parsonen.
Didn't drop too much time though, did he? He was up on the bumper, but ran wide, but was able to recover it quite well. I think now we might see Markland where he needs to respond, doesn't he?
Too late. Timozianov's on him. Timozianov is on him already. So Timmer now needs these guys to go so that he can get a better time. Markland goes, that's good for him. I think Timozianov will get Markland straight away. Might be closer than we thought. Parsonen